Hi everyone, Melissa Bender here, and this is my workout of the day. Today I'm doing yoga, so get out your mat. That is all that you need if you're going to join me. Let's get started. The very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come to the top of my mat and stand in mountain pose. So both of my feet are firmly planted on the ground. My feet are hip distance apart. My body weight is evenly distributed between both of my legs. Now I'm going to reach up, inhaling, and I'm going to stretch back, lifting from my chest until my chest is pointing to the ceiling. Stretching out from my low back, I'm going to exhale, spread out my arms and swan dive forward until my hands come to the ground or wherever they can reach. I'm going to breathe up, coming to flat back. You can touch the ground if you can do so, hinging from your hips and keeping your back straight. Otherwise you can lift it up a little bit. Then I'm going to go back down into a forward fold, bringing my knees back and making sure my legs are really straight. So now I'm going to step back with my left foot, coming into warrior one. So my back leg is straight, my stomach is in, both of my hips are pointing toward the wall in front of me, and my chest is going to lift. My shoulders relax and my fingers come up, pointing to the ceiling. Breathe. And then I'm going to windmill my arms down, plant them on either side of my foot, step back into plank pose. My core comes in tight, my body forms a nice straight line, and I'm going to slowly lower myself, chaturanga, holding, and then I'm going to push my chest forward, coming onto the tops of my toes. My knees are lifted and my gaze goes up to the ceiling. And again, I'm stretching out of my low back, lifting my chest toward the ceiling. I'm going to turn back over onto my toes, lifting my butt up, letting my back come nice and flat. My hands stay planted, my hips lift, and my heels stretch toward the floor. Now I'm going to stretch there in down dog for a minute. Look forward. I'm going to step my left foot forward this time. My back leg stays nice and straight. Both feet are firmly engaged with the ground. I look up, abs pull in, arms stretch, but shoulders stay relaxed. Breathing. My gaze comes forward. I windmill my arms down and plant them on the floor. Stepping back to plank pose. Slow chaturanga, hold. My chest moves forward. I come onto my toes and look up at the ceiling. Breathing. Slowly come up into down dog. So my back is nice and flat. My gaze goes toward my belly button and my heels stretch toward the floor. I'm going to look forward, step my right foot forward, and then I'm going to turn my foot over. So the arch of my back foot is lined up with the heel of my forward foot. I'm going to open up into warrior two. So my knee stays directly above my ankle, my shoulders are relaxed, and my gaze goes out over my fingertips. Breathing. I'm going to straighten my leg. I'm going to lean forward and come down into triangle pose. So my hips stay facing forward. My top arm stretches toward the ceiling and my gaze is focused on my thumb. I'm going to breathe. And then I'm going to look down at the floor, bend my right leg forward and let my fingertips come to the ground. And I'm going to step up into half moon pose. So my right foot is working very actively to keep my body steady. My left hip is open, pointing out to the wall, and my left arm is pointing up to the ceiling. Whoops. And I'm going to switch, turning my body so that both fingertips touch the ground. Both of my hips are now pointing to the ground, and I'm lifting up into warrior three. Whoop. And come back down. Stepping up and bringing your body into Warrior one, you can turn onto your toes, looking up at the ceiling. Bring both my hands to my chest. I'm going to step forward, standing tall for a second, and then going down into chair pose. I'm going to step back with my right foot this time. So my right foot has stepped back. I'm going to put the edge of my foot down. Again, my heel is lined up with the arch of my back foot. I'm going to come up and open into Warrior Two. My shoulder blades are coming together. You can see my shoulders are relaxed. They should never be up in your shoulders. I'm going to lower. My knee is directly above my ankle. Breathing. And then I'm going to straighten that leg, lean forward, and come down into triangle pose, looking up at my thumb on my right hand this time. Breathing. I'm going to drop my gaze, bend my left knee, bring my fingertips down, lift my back leg into half moon pose. Find your balance. Okay, hold it and breathe. Now both of my hands are going to come down. My hips are now pointing down to the ground. And I'm going to find my balance again, lifting into Warrior Three. I'm going to come down, landing on my toes, come up into Warrior One, looking up at the ceiling, arms stretching, shoulders relaxed. Then I'm going to step down, step forward, bring my knees and my heels together into chair pose, stretching up and holding it, looking at the ceiling. Coming up, forward fold, stretching out those legs, keeping them engaged the whole time. Good. Now I'm going to step, opening my feet, facing the front. My feet are more than hip distance apart. And I'm going to bend at my hips, breathing down, and then lowering my head toward the floor. Your head might get all the way down. You might come to here, whatever's comfortable for you. Breathing. I'm going to come up halfway. And breathe down. Coming up, I'm going to angle my heels in and scoot my feet in just a little bit, drop my butt, and I'm going to come up, keeping my knees pressing to the outside. Hands can come to prayer position at my chest. I'm going to hold myself down and breathe. My back is straight, my chest is lifted. I'm actually going to bring my arms up above my head. Breathing. Pressing my knees outward toward the back wall. Come up. My feet are going to face forward, and I'm going to come all the way down again. Okay, now from here, I'm going to jump my feet together. I'm going to sit down on my bottom. I'm going to plant my feet in the ground and my hands on the ground, fingertips pointing toward my heels. And I'm going to lift up into table pose. So my abs are pulled in. My body forms a nice straight line. And you can drop your head back if that's comfortable, or you can keep your gaze forward. And just hold this pose. When I relax it down, I'm going to bring my hips back toward my hands. So my heels stay where they are. My hips come back. I'm going to straighten my back, bring my toes toward me. Breathe, and then I'm going to go straight back into that. My butt is lifting my body, forming a nice straight line. Again, let my feet roll back onto my heels. My butt goes backwards. My back forms a nice straight line. My hands are at my sides. And back into it. Table pose. And down. Okay, this time we're going to go back up, but we're going to do it a little bit differently. We're going to do a reverse plank. So I'm going to bring my feet down, lift, pull my abs in, and I'm going to look at the ceiling, making my body form a nice straight line. So I'm going to lower, turn over onto my hands, coming to plank. My abs pull in, my right leg lifts, and I'm going to do a chaturanga. So my body comes down, and then I go forward into up dog. Turn it back over into down dog. Come forward, plank pose, left leg lifts this time. Chaturanga, onto my toes, to up dog, and then back to down dog. My right leg lifts. I'm going to bend it, open up that hip, and look at it under my arm so I can see my foot wagging, and twirl it the other way. Lift, and bring it forward toward my nose. Hold. Bring it back, lifting it up, and now I'm going to bring it into my right elbow, holding. Bring it back. This time I'm going to cross my body. So bring my knee into my left elbow, crossing over and hold. Bring it back. And I'm going to come down to down dog, and then lift my left foot up, bend my knee, look at it under my arm, wiggle my foot. I'm going to wiggle it the other way, bring it up, and then bring it in toward my nose, hold. Bring it back. So left to left this time, so left knee to left elbow, hold. Bring it back. Anytime you get tired, you can always take a break in child's pose. Cross your body this time, hold. Bring it back. And down dog. Look forward, bend your elbows, chest goes to the floor, and then lift up, up dog. Now we're going to go back onto our knees, taking child's pose, relaxing for just a second before we do some abs. Okay, we're going to come forward, we're going to go back into our plank position, and we're going to turn onto our left side. Reach your fingers up toward the ceiling, and then look at your thumb. Just hold it here. Feel your abs engaged the whole time. Breathing. Come back to plank. We're going to roll to the other side. Look up toward the ceiling, at your thumb, hold. Come down to plank, roll onto your stomach. We're going to do just a couple more exercises. So you're going to stretch your entire body out, and then you're going to lift up to boat pose. And you can start with bent knees. Your back should come nice and straight, and your weight should be evenly distributed between both hip bones. Then you're going to rock back, opening it up, and lift. And if you can, keep your legs straight. And rock it down. Bring it up and hold. Bring it down. My shoulder blades are staying lifted the whole time. My feet are not touching the ground. Bring it up and hold. Now we're going to slowly lower all the way back down. Breathe. You're going to roll up one vertebra at a time to reach toward your toes. Stretching, letting your knees come toward your nose or your legs, wherever they can. Even if you only can get up to here, that's fine. Your body is the most important thing to listen to. Breathe forward. Flex your feet so that your toes come toward you. Breathe, and then you're going to slowly lower back down into Savasana. So you're going to let your feet fall out to the sides, your palms face up to the ceiling, your shoulders can relax into the ground, and here's where you just relax and breathe. Thank your body for doing all of the wonderful things it just did, and really appreciate all of the movements you're able to do. When you're ready, you can roll onto your right side, and then slowly come up from there to sit on your mat. And I thank you for joining me for today's workout. This one was a little bit different. I hope you enjoyed the yoga. I love it. And have a great evening. Namaste.